I think this is actually a good example of a sweet Modern deck. It's doing something kind of unique. It has a cohesive game plan. It has reasonable play to it in a lot of matches, but it's not just like stone dead to rights in a lot of places. I also think this deck tends to have a strong matchup against a lot of the more obnoxious decks in Modern. Like, it's pretty decent, against things like KCI and Tron. We are trying out a couple copies of Mission Briefing today, which in addition to giving us utility with our removal spells, you can Mission Briefing the alternative cost on Archive Trap, right? I believe you can Mission Briefing the alternative cost on Archive Trap. That's the appeal. Okay. I'm not sure if Magic Online can Mission Briefing the alternative cost on Archive Trap, but we'll find out here in a moment. Hopefully. There's a reason to play Mission Briefing over Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, you can't Snapcaster the alternative cost on Archive Trap. You cannot surveil your opponent's deck. 21, Glorious, Hogland, Filled Months. Here to some more. Thank you, Bulletproof Pope. The almost 2 years there. That's a long time for putting up with me. Welcome back. Put my Krabby Patty into play. Yeah, we played Sultai Mill before. We played a bunch of Blue-Black Mill in the past, and then we played some Sultai as well. This hand would be happier if this land made a color of mana, but so be it. This is Burn. The Burn matchup's very bad for this deck. I don't think we quite have enough interactive elements for this matchup. Probably just dead, missing our second color here. We can't really afford to fumble in this matchup. There will not be. So Mondays and Wednesdays are all Modern for the time being. And then Standard is Tuesdays, Wednesday night, and Friday. Yeah, I'm doing a little bit better today. I play decks that lose to Burn exclusively. You and most of the people that play Modern, Nivek. Many of people play decks that lose to Burn exclusively. This is a bridge out matchup. This is probably a surgical out matchup, right? Is Darkness good enough? Yeah, maybe Darkness is fine. Yeah, I guess Claim is okay. Maybe I do this. Like, I can, like, claim my own orb on occasion, too. Maybe I don't want both of them. Let's split the difference. One seems fine. I probably don't ever want to draw two. Getting one stuck in my hand probably isn't the end of the world. Hey, Devon Lokai, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine. Yeah, I'm boarding bridges out though, so like I'm kind of I'm like boarding down on my ways to like have things to claim. Hey, Cardius, thank you for the 8-month resub. Thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. We'll see. I don't know. I think, like I said, I think with Standard being good again and there being a new potential non-rotating format on the horizon, like WotC has like less incentive to want to like fix Modern. Twin helped keep linear decks in check to a degree, but it honestly would probably get run over by Dredge and a lot of these other things that go on in the format, which is more reason to unban it, right? Like, if it's not even good enough, like... This deck's very bad against Burn. It's probably okay against Infect. Bridge is pretty decent against Infect. Collective Brutality is also great in both these matchups, so hopefully we can leverage that here. Leyline of Sanctity is an incredibly narrow card. I don't think Twin's that oppressive against fair decks. Honestly, I think the most obnoxious thing Twin had going for it against fair decks was the fact that it had Blood Moon in it. Like, Blood Moon was a really obnoxious part of Splinter Twin. I think I'm gonna full mode this. Am I guess I feel bad if they have an Eidolon. I'm gonna full mode it. They have a Rest in Peace. Sure. Sure. I shouldn't attack with this. They have Swift Spear. Yeah, we should be getting a UMA announcement today. UMA is a new master set. They started spoiling like these special box topper cards for it over the weekend. Go to the main Magic subreddit, and the subreddit is literally just mono people posting pictures of their UMA stuff. I mean, we're actually in a pretty good spot here, right? We're at 14. They have 15 cards in their deck. I have double Crab in play. Ed Bingo, thank you for the 11 months. Been watching the VODs because of college. It's been hectic, but I'm glad to catch you live. Thank you for the continued support. Welcome back. Hope your school's going well. Yeah, we are going to use it to scry. The fact that they boarded in RIP means that I'm going to board in my Second Nature's Claim, I think. Yeah, I need to field now because they have a Shard Volley. So if I don't field while they're tapped out, they could sack their land that I'm fielding. Oh, they don't have another basic. That's good for me. All right, we're probably going to win this game, honestly. They have 8 cards left. Cast Sinkhole. Your move, Yugi boy. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. All right. Second Nature's Claim. Sign me up. I'm actually going to trim a mission briefing just so I have fewer cards that are dead when they have rip out. Sink that hole. This hand just, like, doesn't do anything, right? It's, like, good with it. God, the Field of Runes have been really brutal today. There's only, like, 2 of these in this deck, right? Yeah. It's rough. Alright. This hand's pretty good. I'm gonna keep that. They have Goblin Guide, it unmulligans me. Modern needs Wasteland. Whenever I hear people bring up, like, Modern needs Force, Wasteland, and Daze, I'm just like, go play Legacy. Nobody wants Modern to be, nobody reasonable wants Modern to be Legacy light. Get out of here. Those are some of the highest variance cards Magic's ever printed. So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with playing Legacy. It's just different than Modern. So I want a Watery Grave here, but I don't think I want to take 2 this turn. It's a good draw. I'm just going to pass here and probably trophy this Eidolon. Wasteland is a miserable high variance Magic the Gathering card. It is a card that creates an incredibly large number of non-games of Magic where one player just doesn't get to play because one of the only lands that they drew just like leaves play. Wasteland's a lot like Blood Moon in that it takes the resource variance that's built into Magic by design and it cranks it up to a 12 in the most unpleasant way. Trophy, I think, is better than Push in the scenario that we just looked at here because Trophy is more mana efficient. And I'm kind of interested in being mana efficient. I did not play a land because I want to cast Assassin's Trophy this turn, and by holding this land in my hand, I'm basically milling them for 3 extra. I'm doing okay. Sure. I think it's silly. I think it's silly that Ponder is banned while lootings and stirring are legal. And I think the corrective action for that isn't unban Ponder. It's ban the other 2. You've bolted my crab. Yeah, the incursions have been a little rough. Am I getting Destructive Revelry? Brutal. I think this matchup's tough for us, but things have not broke our way in these game. It's been a little brutal. All right, another crab and an Oboro is like pretty reasonable here. Means we get to guaranteed mill 3 a turn. Old Jeff wanted Ponder unbanned. Old Jeff was wrong. As an adult who's capable of growth and change, I can admit when I was wrong. All right, Collective Brutality is not bad. I would like the record to reflect that old Jeff never thought Kiki Cord was fine. Chat, when I know there's not a land on top of my deck, picking Oboro up on the end of their turn and immediately is exactly the same. It's exactly the same. All right, please kill me. Play sweet deck, die to burn. Play sweet deck, die to burn. The modern story. How we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning. My name is Jeff Hogan. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. If you enjoy my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their very wonderful support. Past subscribing, you can also support myself by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. MTGOtraders.com. We'll have to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on all of your singles orders there with them. Are you someone who thinks you can always find the correct Magic line? Why don't you test out your skill? Head on over to PossibilityStorm.com and check out over 80 Magic the Gathering puzzles of varying difficulties. They do have new ones that they publish every single week there, so be sure to check them out free of charge. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, Warhammer, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. And of course, BCWSupplies.com would love to help you protect your very valuable Magic the Gathering cards. They do sleeves, deck box, and all sorts of other great stuff, and they can save 10% on all of your orders you place at BCWSupplies.com by using code Jeff10 at checkout. I love my shuffling deck. Good morning, Anner. Yeah, it would be really nice if Moto did a lot of things like Arena. Oh no, my bridge. Oh no. The air bridges are a little bit more difficult, especially when I hold them up to the camera. Ah, gosh. I punted 2 bridges in a row. What a tilt. What a tilt. Basic Island, Suspend, Ancestral Vision. This is probably good for us. Sure. Probably getting Overgrown Tomb. Yeah, I'll get Breeding Pool. Got Mission Briefing. Oh, crap. I was like, I want a black source, but I also want a blue source, and I want a green source, and then I got halfway through and realized we wanted to cast a black spell. That's fine. Oh, you know what? I should play the swamp. It doesn't matter. Got it. All right, so they have this Vendilion click, so I'm actually not going to cast the Glimpse the Unthinkable here, so I can crack this fetch and push this click. Seriously? Thanks for the 11 months, Anner. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good Monday wherever you're at. That's such weird sequencing on the click. I would like to stop the schedule 3 modern, 2 standard, thanks and God bless. That's just not what the people demand, Anner. We've had a lot of donation decks for standard too. And like on top of having a good amount of donation decks, like just the viewer counts overall are good. Just undecided what we're playing after that. I think I'm actually going to mission briefing into Brutality here because they just resolved a draw 3 because I would really like this this Mesmeric Orb to resolve. Well, their hand is pretty bad. They're gonna snap up. This is like milling 6 extra cards for me. God bless. I guess they get a Spell Snare here. I mean, if y'all want to put a bunch of... I'll tell you what. As long as there's modern decks at 100 points, I'll do some extra modern streams. I'll go where the money is, but as of right now, the schedule is staying how it is. If people want to vote with their wallets to make more modern happen, my checking account's okay with that. But nah, Glimpse looks like a good draw here. Do I want to transform this? I think that's fine. Also, my top 3 supporters should check out Standard. If you're a Magic fan, you will like Standard right now. I mean, to be fair, Pikes, I gave them a number for something that a lot of people don't actually want. Like, the reason why I'm doing more Standard is because Standard's more popular right now. Need to, like, make sure to not die to my own orb here. Arena's really good, Anner. Like, I can't even put into words how good Arena is. Playing Arena reminds me of why I took a break from playing Magic Online to just focus on like playing Hex and Hearthstone and other digital card games. When I took a year off from doing Magic Online stuff, there's just such a stark difference between like, this is Magic, and like when Magic's good, Magic Online is fine, but like getting to play an actual video game is such a big difference. Nah, I don't think so. Death Shadows. I think there's just too many moving parts in that. The Last Master set. All right. Well, this is a lethal archive trap. Sure. Yeah, I don't get it either, Big Kitty. The blue enchantment is a card called Fraying Sanity. All right, so extra brutality is good, search good, surgical good. I think I want to trim a couple bridges, but not all of them. What do we think of this? This seems pretty reasonable. I don't think I want these other cards on my board. I think with the 4 trophies, I don't really need the claims. Like, they have, like, the Tension Sphere and stuff like that in their deck, but I think 4 ways to pick those apart is plenty. Cut an orb for an ego. I could see trimming an orb being okay. Getting multiple orbs in this matchup can sometimes be a liability. No, we don't have a Switch Anoronics. The newest Nintendo system in my house, I have a Nintendo DS, I think, that I picked up during college to play Pokemon on. So, those types of players exist everywhere, Pikes, but in my experience, they just get punished harder in Standard is what it comes down to. So, like, when you're wrong in Standard, it tends to be more punishing than when you're wrong in Modern. We're not that soft to rip. And, like, I have 4 trophies in my deck. So, like, you know. I think I'm going to hang tight on this Collective Brutality for a second. I'm gonna go and stick this this bridge. Yeah, the Pokemon Go update where it just like tracks your steps via Google Fit is A+. I think the buyback cards aren't good enough. I think Mystic Speculation is the only one that comes close, and even it comes up pretty short. Rip is Rest in Peace. It's this card right here. It exiles all cards from graveyards and then leaves them exiled. They've not, Burgle. Radical Idea might actually be better than Think Twice in that deck. Because the 2 versus 3 is a big deal. Yeah, it might just be, I don't know. Like, I'm not under any pressure here. Excuse me. I'm gonna kill this, look at their hand. They draw a counterspell. Yeah, looks like they drew a Cryptic Command. You know, they have a Path to Exile, among other things. So Logic Knot. Okay. Good clean deck building right there. Yeah, now I get to trap them, glimpse them, and they can't attack me with the Snapcaster Mage anymore. Nice Hollowed Fountain deck. The modern format tends to be pretty stagnant. There's a wide range of decks that are competitive-ish in modern. But the ones that are good tend to stay good. Sick again? You mean sick since last week? Yeah. Still sick since last week. It's been like 4 or 5 days, chat. Man, I don't know how long some of you all are generally sick, but like 4 to 5 days is not a long time. It's like average. Yeah, I think, like, I keep hearing people talk about, like, this, like, what if Standard gets bad again? Just, like, this, they're just, like, these sad children who have, like, never played a good Standard format. And it's just, like, it's really sad in a way. Like, Magic had consistently good Standard formats for a very, very long time. This most recent stretch of bad ones is not the norm. And we will hopefully go back to having consistently good Standard formats again moving forward, especially with the play design team having input. They only have 15 cards left in their deck, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep this archive trap. I believe this current standard format was the first standard format that they worked on. I mean, humble Greek, there's nothing wrong with enjoying Modern. It's perfectly fine with enjoying the current Modern format. Like, if interesting, interactive, back and forth games of Magic aren't for you, that's okay. Like, games of Magic where both players get to make decisions and have back and forth gameplay, that's not for everybody. That's why Dredge and Tron exist, right? It puts a smile on my face every time we get to play like a tier 3 deck like this that just dumpsters blue-white control. I think blue-white and Jeskai control are the two most overrated decks in Modern as far as like their power level to the ratio of people that play them. People like so desperately want decks like blue-white control and Jeskai to be good in Modern that they play them even though they're terrible. A lot of people play blue-white and Jeskai control. Blue-white control was the second most represented deck among players with 3 buys at the Modern Grand Prix this past weekend. I look forward to hearing the people justify a for $335 for these boxes on this new set. How many packs are in there? Is that a 36 booster box? Are there 36 packs in that booster box? Or is it $330 for 24 packs? It's $14 a pack. Do you want to know why I don't get official endorsements from Wizards of the Coast? Do you want to know why this channel is not affiliated with anything they do? Do you know what I'm going to tell you, chat? If you think that price is too high, don't buy the product. That's absurd, right? Like that amount of money is absurd. And this is something a lot of people don't get. They're like, printing these cards cost them the exact same amount of money as printing any other cards that exist. It costs them the same as printing a normal pack of Magic cards, but we're going to charge 3 times as much, almost 4 times as much. Like, that's just insanity. There goes my next preview card. All right, so we want to draw a Surgical Extraction as quick as possible so we can get rid of their card. That's true. That's actually a great way to look at it. It actually cost them less to make that set because they don't have to spend R&D money. Man, Magic's tough. It's a hard game. Good chat, good chat. Yeah, they can technically get Laboratory Maniac into play and then double spoils. They can technically still win the game, chat. Yeah, I think this deck is fine. Like I said, when we were talking about the decks we were playing earlier today that were really bad, I mentioned that this and the Bant deck that we're playing after this are mostly reasonable. They have matches where they really struggle, but they have a lot of play to them in a lot of places. And I think there's a lot of matches in Modern that this mill deck especially lines up really well into. The Elite Guards are my preferred BCW sleeve. Perfect. And this Fraying Sanity means that this Glimpse plus this Archive Trap are actually lethal, because this will mill 20 and this will mill 26. Hey. $14 is only the cost of 3 packs, chat. Normal packs MSRP for like $4.29, right? I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea how much a pack of Magic cards costs. Here's a very important mistake that a lot of people don't understand. Masters products are not printed to lower the price of Magic cards. If Masters products were printed with the intention of lowering the price to reasonable metrics for modern staples or legacy staples, they would print more of it and they would be cheaper. The purpose of Masters products is to maintain the price of modern and legacy cards. It's to bring more people into the formats while simultaneously keeping the supply to player ratio very similar. These products are not intended to lower the price. That's why for the chase cards, they often don't lower the price in a meaningful way, because they're not intended to. Somebody clip it so we can link it later. All right, and this matchup like goes from like good to absurd post board here. Just like get to bring in another surgical and like more discard and unmoored egos and stuff to cut all these bridges. It's a Nature's Claim matchup. This might be a Nature's Claim matchup. They bring in Leyline. Yeah, Orb's probably pretty bad here, right? What's going on, Sean? Thanks for the biddies. I feel like I'd rather have the heavy hitters here than the orbs. Think I like this? This build feels really good, Jekyll Girl. I like the mission briefings over... These replace the ancestral visions, right? Or the whatever that card was called. The poopy draw 3 card. Visions from Beyond. Yeah, I like the flexibility on it. I'm gonna make a note to update the Sultai list on the website. Did someone say clip? I think you summoned Barty from wherever he is. Unmoored Ego. Thank you for the clips, chat. Are you referring to his video about the 5th card problem? Nobody reasonable thinks that the 5th card solution in MTG Arena doesn't need a fix, because it very much does. Sorry, I'm tweeting my clip. You're not missing anything special on Hoglanda's social media. I'm just tweeting my clip. All right, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get a breeding pool here. I'm just nature's claiming this Pentad Prism, right? So that way they can't ramp up and kill me next turn. They're pretty unlikely to kill me next turn if I claim this. No, they're 24 packs in a box. The MSRP is $14 a pack. You know what they say, opponent? The pride cometh before the fall. Don't let your ego get the best of you now. That one. Did they bring in an alternative win condition? They did not. So they're just on like the spoils Labman plan. So once I mill Laboratory Maniac, they'll be dead. Go. Yeah, we were dead next turn for sure. Oh, I can briefings Ego. That's a good catch. Yeah, once I take Laboratory Maniac, the game's just over. I mean, this deck was already very good against combo. Because you have a bunch of surgical extractions and mill cards. Yeah, they're very likely dead here. I think the egos seem fine. I like the egos better than the extra pates we had previously, Jekyll Girl. Yeah, I'm aware of how their deck works, Time Lord. We've been talking about that. Bazik, thank you for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. All right. All right, we flipped to spoils. Still haven't been the Laboratory Maniac yet, though, which is a little scary. They're gonna get milled out next turn though, right? A Fairies deck did not go 12-3. Blue-black control that like had 2 Spellstutter sprites in it that the person couldn't let go of, that went 12-3. Have a good class, Nivik. High Speed Run, thank you for the 7-month resub. Welcome back. Oh, yeah, I probably should briefing Ego here. We could actually lose, right? If they go Angel's Grace into Laboratory Maniac plus a cantrip, we actually lose. Huh. Yeah, they have... Yeah, I think I messed up, actually. Yeah, I can briefing trophy kill the lab man. Yeah, we can briefing trophy. I should have egoed the laboratory maniac though. So the Angel's Grace to not lose the game this turn. Yeah, if they don't have Pact, so if they have Serum Vision's laboratory maniac here, they could technically win the game. We can mission trophy, so they need to have cantrip, lab man, pact of negation in hand. Yeah, and it can't be sleight of hand. That is correct. Yeah, it feels like a pact. They pause like they have a pact. So... to be fair, if they have Pact, I would have lost even with trying to get the ego back last turn. And that pause felt like they have a Pact. They don't have it. All right. Yeah, if they have Pact, yeah, they didn't need the cantrip. They just pay for Pact and then go to their draw step and win. Alright, we're 2-1. Beat blue-white control, beat ad nauseam. Cricket, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. I think Radiant Champion's not particularly good. I think it's probably worse than something like Vivian on average. I think if you want a Planeswalker in that archetype, you want it to consistently generate card advantage. If you don't want to play any Planeswalkers and tokens at all, you could play Immortal Sun. I think that card's very good. It's an anthem effect for your tokens, and it shuts off your opponent's Planeswalkers. I think I saw that, Thomas, but it didn't have a link with it, so I wasn't sure what it was for. The player of the draw. I'm on the play. I'll bottom that. I want another blue source with double briefing. Yeah, ideally, Thomas. Yeah, if you donate to add a deck to the queue and it doesn't have a link with it, I really don't have a good way to track it. There's a lot of overlap. I think the mana base is fine, Jackal Girl. We've got some tough requirements, but I think what we have is pretty reasonable. I have a Warhammer spoiler that I'll be posting on Twitter later today, Python. Because other game companies like me. WotC doesn't like me, but other games that I play, their companies like me. If you're looking for a sweet mobile card game to play, you should check out the Warhammer card game. It's a lot of fun. It's my go-to tablet game. I don't actually know how our Dredge matchup is. This hand we have right now is not good against Dredge. I think we have the tools to be successful here, but this hand is definitely not that. So, like, this is probably a matchup where Creeping Chill gives them a lot of reach, which is good for them. The Elite Guards, Max Owens. Yeah, I've played Epic before, NoobTube. I actually have a playset of paper Epic cards, except for their latest expansion. There's no one else that really plays it. That game's okay. I honestly think one of the issues with the Epic card game is that it doesn't have enough variance in it. It's exceedingly low variance. Like just dead here, right? May I check out Artifact on Steam? Do you mean on stream when it comes out? Yeah, I bought an Artifact beta key, but based on feedback I've heard from people playing the beta, I'm not particularly hyped for it anymore. Other people I've been talking to have said the constructed in Artifact is not very good, which makes me sad because I basically only play constructed. Do I want sweepers in this matchup? I guess they could be fine. Is Ego good enough? Ego might not be good enough. It's probably just worse than Surgical. I probably don't need it in addition to. I'm gonna do this. Nature's Claim for Shriek is pretty narrow, I think. I think one of the issues too is that like I think it's tough even for a game that's really well designed to have good one set constructed. It's tough to have a super deep constructed format when you only have one set of cards, I think. Which is actually one of the reasons why the Warhammer card game, they released in August, and their second set is releasing in November. And I'm glad that they ramped up into their second set very quickly, because the core of their game is very, very good. But I think it definitely lacks a little bit of depth on the current set because of it needs a little bit more cards to flesh out some of the archetypes that they have in it. So a second set should make it pretty reasonable. I'm enjoying it with just one set now, but I think with two sets, the Warhammer card game will be quite fantastic. Mana Confluence, that's interesting. It's just like City of Brass, right? Which the deck plays on occasion. I wonder if they don't have fetch lands. I feel like I don't want to mill them here. I think I'm just going to hang tight. Okay, I think I want to, like, let them do a little bit of the work and then, like, one-shot them, basically. So, way back in the day, back when Dredge was a meme in Modern and Grave Troll was legal but not good, before Prized Amalgam, before Cathartic Reunion, there was actually a Vengevine Hedron Crab deck that self-milled itself. For people whose memory goes that far back. Oh yeah, that was a standard deck too, wasn't it? I think you're right. Four surgicals are pretty important to this archetype. They give you a lot of game against these combo decks. Claiming my bridge, rude. Double Amalgam. Thanks, Shiny. We're all about the realism here. You would trap to try and get the chills. Do I want to trap them now? I don't know. I feel like the amalgams are scarier than the chills, right? We already played Darksteel aggro. It was really bad. Bant Midrange is going to be the deck after this one. Is Stoneforge Mystic in the Master set? We might be getting it unbanned then. Gotta sell $14 booster pack somehow, chat. Miguel, Stoneforge Mystic. Can somebody link me the Stoneforge Mystic spoiler? Is it up on Mythic Spoiler yet? It's not on Mythic Spoiler yet. Somebody, okay, hold on. This is important. This was important. Somebody link me. Somebody link me. I can't find it. What am I doing here? Am I casting this search? I think I'm casting this search. They opened a curled foil on stream. That's great. It's just good, clean advertising right there. They lied? Mods, go back and sword whoever lied. Slay the children. Run them through. No mercy. This isn't like the rest of the internet, chat. Your words have consequences here. We hold people to these things called standards. UMA aside, do you like the new buy a box concept? Do you mean, do I like that they gave me a side of gambling with my box of gambling? I don't know. I must not be the target audience for that, but like the side of gambling with your box of gambling. All I would like to say is, I think it's incredibly weird that loot boxes are being banned in countries around the world and TCG booster packs aren't regulated. We're the OG loot boxes. Yeah, Lost Lord Goyf, I agree with that assessment. Feels a lot like Burn versus Shadow. Like, our primary plan is like kind of good against their plan, but it's like this odd bob and weave because we don't want to fire off too quickly. We want to blow our load at exactly the right point. All right, how'd they board? We've got 2 Nature's Claims. They boarded in 3 claims and 2 grudges. Peace by 3, I can get you in a bit. Nope. Do I exile the conflags? Or do I... I kind of want to, like, end step field, trap them, untap Bontu's exile the Bloodghast. So, like, the problem here is they have, like, 3 things that kill me, and I feel like I can't beat 2 of them at the moment, and I only have the tools to beat 1 of them. So, like, I can, like, take care of the Bloodghast or the Conflags or the Creeping Chills, but, like, whichever 2 of those 3 that I leave are going to kill me. I feel like I'm in a pretty bad spot. Do I just take the chill now? Yeah, take the chills now is probably not a bad idea. I'm gonna get a swamp here. Pay black. Remember, you can pay mana for surgical. That is an option. Yeah, we'll end step trap them. This series of interface windows. What's going on, Frenzied Mage? Yeah, I feel like we've got some play to us here. I think we're behind, but I don't think we're, like, just dead. Yeah, I think you're right, Jekyll Girl. I think Ego is probably worth having in our deck. No, Monday is Modern Day. I might do a second stream tonight, and if I do that, I'll be standard, but Mondays and Wednesdays, morning into afternoon, is all Modern. All right, they've got 2 blood gas in there. So if we draw a 3rd surgical, we get to Bontu's and then kill all the blood gas, which is nice. All right, figured out how to beat Dredge. I might still die to these conflagrates though, right? Like, I'm definitely dead to the blood gas, but like, as far as like assembling a winning game plan goes, the next thing we need to worry about are the conflags. Well, I don't get my lands next turn. Boneless Wing Banurking, thank you for the 9-month resub to the recorders of a year. Welcome back. That's true. If we find a black source, we can flip search and then glimpse them. So we're getting conflagged for 8 here, down to 4. I think we're gonna be 1 turn slow here. So they get to dredge. Yeah, we're actually just dead, right? They get to dredge up to... They get to loam up to 3 cards. And then I glimpse them. I guess I can hit... I need to hit a card that mills them, right? If I hit a card that mills them, we win the game because we're at 4. So I need to hit another glimpse or... Archive Trap does it too, actually. So we need an Archive Trap. No, Archive Trap doesn't do it. They have 14 cards, I lied. Fraying Sanity and Glimpse kill them. Mission Briefing also works, so we can surgical their stuff. That's just not good enough, right? They're at 14 cards. So I have to Azcanta into my 4th surgical extraction to take their conflagrates away, right? They don't need to dredge, Squee. They just draw 1 card for the turn. Yeah, that's a separate donation just for me writing the sideboard guide, Big Eyes. Well, they need to draw a card because you have to do it at the start of your turn. So I have to find surgical here. And we're dead. It's a shame I don't know which of these cards was on top of my deck. Because actually, so if I would have waited to flip this, any of these 3 cards were lethal here. So if I would have waited to flip this and then potentially drawn one of these instead of this archive trap, I maybe could have killed them. That was an interesting game of Magic, though. We had a lot of tight play there. Like a lot of decisions that ended up having an impact on the outcome of the game, right? And I think that the conclusion that we want Unmoored Ego in that matchup is accurate because of the specific cards that we care about and how we kind of want to pick them apart. So I could have made a better decision with my search for Azcanta, and I should have boarded in my Unmoored Egos. So we lost to Burn, which is a basically impossible matchup, and we lost a close one there to Dredge. Get to see what the 5th match goes. We beat Ad Nauseam and we beat Blue-White Control. I'm not sure how the sub-messages work on Mobile Scholar. No, I don't think so. Because the Blood Gas would have hit me for 16, which also would have killed me. If this is the last Masters product we're getting for a while, does that mean that we might finally not be in a spoiler stream, a spoiler season? I feel like Magic is just like constantly in a spoiler season, just like never not spoiler season. No, my Monday and Wednesday streams are all modern on this application. You can find my schedule here, which not only lists the days that I stream, but also lists which formats I stream on those days. So Tuesday morning, Wednesday nights, and then Friday are my my arena streams for standard for now. Yeah, looking like some kind of control deck. I think I'm just headed to the Space Jam here. Getting Logic Knotted, maybe? Yeah, looks like it. Spell Queller. Okay. Okay. Interesting. You have my attention. They're probably playing Jeskai tempo with Spell Queller and not playing Spirits. Yep. Do I just surgical their cryptics? Yeah, I'm just gonna surgical their cryptics. Just Twitch chat the crap out of these people. There's probably 4 of that card in their deck. Wow, only 3 cryptics. Weird. Alright, what do we have going on here? 2 Geist, 4 Queller, a random click, 4 Bolts, 2 Helix. I'm just gonna take a picture because it lasts longer. Yeah, it's some kind of like Jeskai mid-range deck, basically. Yeah, their hand is not amazing against us, that's for sure. So what would I rather get counterspelled here? I think I'd rather Glimpse get counterspelled than Glimpse the Unthinkable, right? Or than Bridge. Because, like, Bridge locks them out of this game pretty hard. Good catch. There's a third Helix there, that's blue. Thanks, Magic Online. This application. Oh, they do have a braid, don't they? Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Good call. Makes my sequencing a touch worse. They don't have that many counterspells in their deck, so they have 2 Logic Knots, a Spell Snare, and then Snapcaster Mages left. Yep. Are we in a good deck or a bad deck mood after this one? Asking for a friend. Anything you want, anything for you, Scholar. You just let me know. I aim to please. They do have a basic mountain in their deck. Snapcaster Mage was an incredibly good draw for them here. It allows them to put a clock on the table while also disrupting my Glimpse the Unthinkable here. Feels bad. Probably trophying the Colonnade if it attacks, otherwise trophying the Snapcaster Mage. I want to keep my health total high because they have a bunch of burn in their deck and I prefer not to get burned out. Just gonna go ahead and cast this now. They're gonna get to a braid something at some point. Might as well be this turn. Makes our next bridge better if we draw a second one. Yep. So their hand is Path, a braid, and then 2 cards I don't know at the moment. So it's Path and then 2 cards I don't know. So this is important. You want to make sure you Assassin's Trophy their Celestial Colony to enter combat, because this way if my opponent drew Logic Knot, they'll have to tap this so I can't attack this turn to protect it. So Glimpse and our card that our trap card are both very good here. They mill a ton of cards. They only have 32 cards left in their deck. Mission Briefing is a Glimpse the Unthinkable. Mesmeric Orb is a good one. So this puts them to 12 cards in their deck. Because Fraying Sanity is going to bury 10 more. That's a bolt. They have a path, and then 2 cards I don't know once they draw for the turn. Orb severely limits their ability to spend mana here, which is great. They have 11 cards left. Yeah, Sanity's great, for sure. So, any of our mill cards are lethal at this point. All right, what's the best use of this surgical extraction? There's 2 helixes and 2 bolts in their deck. Great. They have snap. No, they only have 1 Snapcaster left. So, I think I want a surgical on their upkeep because it plays around them snapcasting me a little bit better. All right. 8 cards left. And this mills them too as well, right? Because it takes the 2 bolts out of their deck also, which is great. Yeah, they have a Helix in hand, but I'm at 7, so it's really not a big deal. Helix you back. Go. I think they're on the 0 outer at this point. Because like they're gonna have to tap lands. Oh, they have an Abrade in their deck. So if they hit the Abrade here and they Abrade the orb, they're gonna kill us. Or I suppose they can hit the other Helix too, right? Like they attack us with the click and then double Helix us. So I guess they have a couple outs here. There's the other Helix and there's the Abrade. Okay, so like we binned the Helix and the Abrades, they should just be dead, right? All right, so extra surgical seems fine, search seems fine. Bridges seem great. Is this a Bontu's matchup? I don't know if this is a Bontu's matchup. Fatal Push versus Trophy. I feel like Push is actually better, right? Is Brutality good enough? Definitely want this. Now, I'd be pretty surprised if Jeskai has Leyline in it. Yeah, I was thinking Trophy seems mediocre. Trimming Orb seems fine. I don't want to cut all the trophies. I think I want 5 ways to kill Spellqueller. Yeah, these handle Colonnade too is a very good point. I could see fitting these other Collective Brutalities in, but I honestly don't hate any of the cards that are in my deck right now. So I might just run it like this. I feel like if this killed Spell Queller, I'd just like be all in on 4, but because it doesn't, I think it's fine. It seems great. A Stinger. We've had twins, that's how it works. What's going on? Thanks for the 18 months, welcome back. Google chat, best chat, what's going on, Sean? So this is probably gonna be a basic island pass on 1, so that way I can guaranteed get mill triggers out of my Krabby Patty. Ah, the surgical mirror match, eh? Now, I think the bridges are pretty important, Squee. Their creatures are consistent sources of damage. If I was worried about getting burned out, I'd probably bring in the Crypt Incursions before I brought in anything else, honestly. Before I brought in more Brutality. It's a second crab, sign me up. Do you want to waste a counterspell on a crab? Mr. Krabs would like you to step into his office. Wow, we just got a logic down on a crab. That's so good for us. So, the fact that they burned a counterspell on that kind of implies to me that they don't have removal in their hand. It could just be overreading it, but that seems pretty good for me. And if this is a Spell Queller turn, we get to go Crab, get Spell Quellered, fetch, play Mesmeric Orb. Or now basic forest, play Mesmeric Orb. Scholar, doling out the sub-giftaroonies. Thank you for the support, I appreciate it. Cause it's a sub, train. Choo-choo. So, starting in January, Twitch is changing how sub-icons work, and instead of a streak, it's gonna turn into a, total amount subbed. And even more. Thank you, Scholar. Do I want to jam a 2-drop here? I'm not sure if I want to jam a 2-drop here, do I? Scholar with the big gifts. I think I just wait, right? Yeah, I could like double 2-drop. I like the idea of double 2-drop next turn. I should have fetched a tapped. To set the bar low, Scholar, I don't think this is the worst deck you've sent me. Sounds good. Scholar, just as like, I appreciate the gifts, but fair is fair. That's only, I'll sneak them on a white deck in after Bant, Because the Bant deck has 80 points, and 15 sub-gifts is only 75 points, right? 15 times 5? Yeah, and the Bant deck's at 81. So, I didn't have a plan for another deck after Bant, and we should have time for that. So we'll wrap with Mono White today. Alright, so Crabs died, which is about what we were expecting. Do I lead on... Oh, you also you're gonna use your tier 3 on that. Got you. Got you. I'm gonna start with Azcanta here, I think. So this does give them an untapped land here, so they can negate or logic knot this Azcanta still. Feel bad. Perfect. I went better than expected. No, I don't think so, Mage. I think Dispel is a card I'm not super interested in playing around, and I need to take their pressure off the table. Because pressure is how we lose this game. I have 25 cards left. Glimpse seems good. I think because they only have 25 cards left, I'm actually going to lead on Orb here. I think I'd rather they counter this than this. Wait, what did they target? No, they targeted Spell Snare. That makes sense. So they're going to mill 4 here. We're on a pretty quick clock. If they have any amount of burn, we're going to die pretty quickly here. A Braid's really good. Takes our clock away. Definitely a little bit behind at the moment. This is a good example of why I think having all your bridges in this matchup is very important. Because this is how we die, is when they get too many creatures going. I get 2 looks here, plus a... What has Modern become when you look at the top 8 and go, man, I hope this incredibly fair Infect deck wins the tournament? To be fair, like, we played Infect in 2 leagues last week. I genuinely think Infect is one of the better combo decks that can exist in Modern. It's a combo deck that cares about basically every piece of interaction that exists in Modern. It is a phenomenal deck to have exist in the format, in my opinion. All right. Don't abrade me. There's 2 abrades down. Don't snapcaster me. All in. Damn it. Damn it. Technically didn't get abraded. Technically didn't get abraded. So close and yet so far away. I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. I don't think I want darkness. Like, darkness is good against, like, exactly Geist, and, like, I have 4. Now, they have a pretty diverse selection of threats. We surgicaled them game 1, and they have, like, 2 Geist, and some Snaps, and some Quellers, and some Vendilion clicks. Surgical doesn't count for enabling, Surgical isn't your opponent searching their deck, it's you searching their deck. So Surgical does not enable Archive Trap. For those that are a little bit newer to Magic the Gathering. Yeah, I don't think the hideaways are good enough, Brad. I think especially with the mana, they're not good enough. Having a critical mass of basic lands in your deck is pretty important. I think in order to fit hideaway lands in, I'd have to cut spells. I don't think they're better than any of the spells that we're playing. Hideaways are only bugged in the respect that you can't play lands off of them. They work fine otherwise, so it's kind of a corner case. If we get a land tier, we're going to be in a very good spot. Our hand's pretty good. Tilt. Is it really that bad? I kind of like the blue-red thing deck. There's a lot of F-bombs in that video. Just a lot of vulgarity. Felt there was enough on there that I felt like I should attach a language warning to it. Because in general, I've been trying to make an effort to swear less while making content to make the content more accessible. But I know that because I've been swearing less, people watch my videos with kids around, so I didn't want somebody to watch that video with their kids around and then be upset. To be fair, that video with the language warning has one of my most watched modern videos in recent memory. The standard videos have just been destroying modern in terms of number of people watching them. And that one's actually close to my standard numbers. You vulgar people, you. I think I just try for another Fraying Sanity here. Missing these land drops really sucks. Especially like drawing a second bridge here. Well, as far as like Thing Ascension's concerned, Scholar, I just think there's not a reason to not be in white, basically. Like, we played Jeskai Thing Ascension a number of times on stream. I think that deck's very reasonable. And like, just like the white cards come at a low cost and add a lot of ability. So I think at this point, I'm supposed to upkeep, crack the field, fatal push this. Hey, Cochran Fox, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Hardened Scales, 1, Modern doesn't have a metagame. 2, Hardened Scales literally just top 8 at a Grand Prix. So whatever you think the Modern meta is has to be even more nonsense than even thinking that Modern has a metagame to begin with. 1, I think it's silly to think Modern has a metagame because of how the format works. And 2, I don't know what you think it is if it's not the top 8 of a Grand Prix. I think Ral's very good. We played Ral. We have Ral's in the sideboard of the Grixis Goryo's decklist. I was very impressed with that card there. Here's hoping we draw a green source so I can go trophy this plus Mesmeric Orb next turn. If we hit a green source here, we could be in a pretty good spot after stumbling here a bunch. Perfect. All right. We have to go to 7 to do this, which is a little scary, but I think we're definitely just supposed to do that. Just unlock our stuff, basically. Do this first because trophying them is going to give them a land, and I'd prefer this doesn't get spell snared. We're definitely in danger of being burned out this game, but if we don't get burned out, I think we're a favorite to win. Like, it feels like we have the tools to beat creatures, right? So like these, I guess Wear Tear is scary here too, right? If they have Wear Tear and kill both of these, we're back behind again. They have play here. This game, it's a close game. I don't think either of us are necessarily ahead right now. Well, I think that's very good for us. Unless their hand is just like infinite burn spells, we should be in a pretty good spot here. Surgical's actually a good draw for us because it insulates us against the Snapcaster Mage potentially. Actually, this is just like lethal almost, right? Because this mills 10 and then this mills 10 and they have 25 cards left. Yeah, finally finding the 4th land helped a lot. Yeah, the bad decks in Modern generate a lot of really sweet games of Magic. So like when you get 2 decks that aren't very good and they play against each other, generally the result is sweet. And like games like this are like why this format is fun, right? Because there's a lot of interesting back and forth going on here. Ooh, that's a little rough. Two bolts in the bin. So really needed a 5th land this turn. If we would have found a 5th land this turn, we could have slammed this bridge too. Yeah, we might be dead here. Okay, this is actually pretty good for us here. They're gonna target Lightning Bolt. I'm gonna get to Surgical for mana. We're dead to a Helix next turn. Okay, they have Cryptic Command. They have double Snapcaster. All right, I mean, that being said, like, we're dead, right? This Cryptic Command just kills us. Does it? So they're going to mill 5, 10 cards. They're going to draw a card for the turn, 13, 12. I think we're just dead to rights here. I think I have to draw another surgical to surgical their cryptics. That way I can go surgical cryptic plus play bridge next turn. They have a Helix in the bin. They do not. I didn't notice they had Helix in their deck still. They probably do. They milled Wear Tear. Yeah, I believe we're just dead at this point, right? They get to kill both of these. The Abrade kills us. Oh, from your hand. Okay. Yeah, they also have Cryptic Command. So I need to draw Surgical Extraction so I can surgical their cryptics, then play the bridge. Oh, they have another snap too, right? So the Abrade then kills the bridge. Yeah, I think we're dead no matter how we slice it. I believe all paths are gonna lead to us dying. Yeah, I think they're trying to fuse and they're confused that they can't. They're gonna get another turn, is the issue. Thanks. Yeah, we've got a lot of... You can buy one of these Hoaglandia shirts now. Whole bunch of them on the website. Wait, what? What are they surgicaling? They're surgicaling Glimpse the Unthinkable? Sure. Alright, so now surgical extraction means we can win the game. If we draw surgical, we can surgical their cryptics and then bridge them out of the game. Thanks for the chance. This is a no justice. I'll just be quiet. I'll just... Alright, so they have Abrade, and they have some cantrips to get to it. Alright, and if they don't hit the Abrade this turn, I get to play second bridge next turn and lock them out. Sinbred, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. They did not mill the Abrade over. They did not draw it. All right, removal spells for this or Glimpse kills them. Somebody call the cops. There's been a robbery. They threw all their Snapcasters. They threw all their Snapcasters. I believe they're just dead at this point. All right, worth noting. This does not kill Spell Queller. I do not currently have Revolt, and I can't crack a fetch land. So So, I'm pretty sure our opponent couldn't lose that game. And they just, like, spiked it into the garbage can for us. So, thanks for the play points. Takeaways on Sultai Mill. Mission briefing felt pretty good. I don't remember. It's not Ancestral Visions. It's Visions from Beyond. Visions from Beyond always felt kind of clunky and awkward in this deck. And I like that, that this was an interactive card when we needed it to be an interactive card. And it was just more milling when we needed more milling. I think I'm going to go ahead and put this list on my website as the latest mill list on my website, which is a good plug for the website overall, by the way. If you haven't seen my website before, there are a ton of great modern and standard deck lists up there, as well as past archives of all the streams, so be sure to check that out. If you think this mill archetype is sweet and it's your first time playing it, we've probably played over half a dozen leagues with it in the past, both Sultai and blue-black configurations. You can find all of those up there. Mission briefing is better than Snapcaster Mage because you can't Snapcaster Mage Archive Trap and play it for 0. You can, however, mission briefing, Archive Trap, and play it for 0. Does that website make you any money? Indirectly. So that website helps people find my content, which people then in turn give me money to make content. So it makes my stuff organized, helps people stay engaged with what I do. Hey, Eternal Witness, thank you for the 5-month resub.